Good morning, everyone. And to our live stream artists, my name is Reverend Dr. Louis Gates. I'm the current pastor here at Colby. I'd like to introduce our speaker. He is a medium, healer, and teacher, Reverend John Rogers.
I'm glad I didn't say Mr. Rogers. Hey, good morning. Come on, a little louder. Good morning. All right, good, you woke me up. I'd like to talk about a few things with spiritualism, and one of them is mediumship. You know, people get confused with that. They always say they're a psychic medium or a medium psychic or something, so let me try to define what a medium really is. If you look at the definition, it's a long one, trust me, because when you say these, I couldn't tell you. But a medium is the intermediary between the spirit of one. That's all they really are. So we take the communication from spirit directly and pass it off to the ones we're reading for, whether it's a group like here or private lectures. This woman I know, she always says, this fits John, but one of us called mental medium. And what a mental medium is one who takes the information, like I said, and just delivers it out to the individual. That's all they do. There's no tools involved, nothing else, just direct communication. The other one is called where they use trumpets. Anybody's ever seen a trumpet seance at all? Yeah, pretty amazing, isn't it? I did this up at Temple Heights in Maine, and I want to tell you, they picked the time to do it at midnight of all the times. And the trumpet we had up there was 3 stages where you pull it. It was aluminum, and we put it on the desk, and all of a sudden, that thing collapsed. And I said, I'm out of here. I'm going home. But that spirit coming in. And the other one is called slate writing. Has anybody ever seen slate writing? Yeah, quite amazing, isn't it? When I lived in New York, I had a chance to see some of the old-time ones. This is where you two chalk trays, and you put a piece of chalk in it, and you put it under the table or something, and you have a little bit of a seance, if you will, and you can hear the scribbling of the writer from spirit doing it. And you pick it up, and sure enough, there's writing there. Now, that particular thing is not done these days as much as they were in the past. If you look at the pictures here at this camp, back in the 1800s, it was packed. They go through slate writing and trumpet seances. And the other one is called table tipping. Table tipping. Here again, I was up to Maine, and I was sitting at this, well, first of all, they had teachers showing how to do table tipping. If you understand how this is done, you have 3, 4 people at the table, and one was the medium who directs it. And you asked a question to spirit, and the table will move up or down depending on it'll be yes or no. So I was sitting in the kitchen while we were teaching this with 3 other students at this oak table. Now you know how heavy oak is, real heavy. And they said, let's see if we can move this thing. I said, you can't do that. Well, sure enough, the thing was vibrating so much, it woke the woman upstairs up, and she thought it was an earthquake coming in up there at the temple. So those things happen from spirit, and it's quite interesting that these things are coming in today more through camps like this one here. Do you have any questions on that? Any answers on that? It's quite fascinating, really. I just do mental mediumship. I don't do the other type of mediumship because I'm not trained for that. So I stay pretty much in that parameter. The other thing I want to talk are psychics. And when I say a psychic is one who works on the vibrational frequency of the individual. If I was to take this lady's ring, for example, and hold it in my hand, I would be able to read for her very quickly. That's called psychometry. And that's what a psychic does. They hold the item. I always said that if I went up to Colorado, where that case was, Benoit, the girl was killed in, I think it was in Colorado. If I held some of the stuff up there, I would be able to tell a lot what transpired there. All right? So psychics and mediums are different. Now, many psychics cannot really get into mediumship. It's very tough for them because they have to depend on holding something. Mediums can get into psychics. So there is a difference. And I try to explain this to my classes and through the public because everybody gets confused on one thing or the other. Anybody have any questions on that? Boy, you guys are going to get the test next.
Psychics don't always have to hold anything. They can go on a soul level connection.
Yeah.
That's the difference between being a psychic, reading psychically, and psychometry. They don't always have to hold something. You can connect with energies and you can get a reading.
Well, basically, if they're doing that, they get into mediumship then.
No, mediumship is spirit communication.
What about the aura?
Pardon me?
What about the aura?
That isn't spirit.
It's a soul connection.
It's a soul connection.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of people come in contact, a lot of people contact the aura of an individual, but don't understand it. They just feel it. So that's interesting. Okay. Any questions on the aura? You ready for the test? Okay. Transmediumship. Now that's very interesting. I was trained up in Massachusetts by the Custons, Gladys and Kenneth Custons, who had a church up there called the Onset Spirituals Church. And they had this woman come in from Wales, and you can tell the dialogue, because you can tell them from Massachusetts, right? I can tell. And they had this woman in from Wales and her aunt, who was the medium in charge. And this girl was under a direct red light influence. And when she sat down, she was talking Chinese, and her facial expression changed on her. That's because the entity from that world came very close to her. Then she changed into talking deep Southern boy, which is very interesting. And her whole facial expression, she did a heck of a job. And I'm sure she wasn't faking it. That's the only official one I've seen. And it's something that's kind of more and more each day. A good friend of mine who has a church up in Massachusetts, he and I served together, and he's a character. He was called up to another church because all the students were going into transmission and didn't know about it. So we went up there and they were all on the trance, and he took out this great big knitting needle. He said, I would poke you with the needle, you wouldn't feel it. Guess what? No more trances. So you had to be very careful who you go with. Okay, any questions on anything applicable to spiritualism? Going once, going twice. Okay, how many of you had, yes ma'am?
You think that spiritualism is going to grow or decline?
I'm sorry, can you?
You think spiritualism is going to grow or is it going to decline?
No, I think it's growing. I really do. I've been doing this for about 40 years now, and I've been getting all kinds of phone calls on readings and help and different things. Yeah, it's growing. Yep. Anything else? Is eyes where a lot of religions are on decline. Spiritualism itself is on rise. People are interested in the openness of spiritualism and the positiveness of it, and they're interested in readings and help. People right now are really down. So mediumship is really doing well. Like I said, I get calls from all over the place. So the furthest we call was from Vietnam. So people are really in heaven. Okay. Anything else?
Well, how did you start?
How did I start?
Yes.
I actually started doubting this word, honestly, because I've been a Catholic boy. But I went into it, I'm going to mention this in the lecture a little bit about it, but I went into it with a lot of doubts, and I had a real excellent teacher, and it turned around. I'm glad I did. You know. Does everybody believe in souls? That when we leave the earth side, we go to another level? Do you believe in that? What's your thing? You got any ideas? Yeah. What do you think? Correct. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. What do you think? You're going to say ditto, huh? So when you pass on to the spirit side of life, your body's left here and your soul goes on, correct? Yeah. All right, that's good. Now, do you think animals do the same thing? How about you? How about you in the back there? Okay, sure. Because animals, everything has a soul, absolutely. They try to measure it at one time. I don't know how true this is, but they measured a clinical death, when the body is clinically dead, the soul leaves the body, and the body weighs less than it did prior to death itself. Somebody said it was around 0.23 grams or so. I don't know how true that is. So that's what happens. So we go into another state of consciousness. Does everybody believe in guides, spirit guides? Okay. What do you think a spirit guide is? Someone connected with you from spirit, right? Mm-hmm. Do you know who your spirit guide is? You got several of them, huh? You got the multitude of many. Yeah, everybody has a spirit guide. When we came into the earth side, we came in with a spirit influence to help us. And they work with us quite a bit. How about you? Do you believe in that too? Huh? Good. Do you know what that is? Huh? You don't know? Okay. Mm-hmm. How about you? You have many. Good, good. Yeah. All right. Well, that's good because we all have one. I have one. One's enough for me. She keeps me pretty busy, trust me. Too many more would be confusing. Yeah. But they will come in. They will come in and help us. There's no question about it. And of all the years I've been doing this work, and it's been over 40 years, and I'm going to be 35 next month. I always get a laugh from that. I don't know why. But I've never seen a spirit guide being depressed. They're always caring and loving for the individual. And they're always there. The only problem we have is we don't listen too much. We have to listen more to them. I gave a lecture a long time ago on intuition versus spirit identification, or spirit intervention, really. Because that's what happens. Spirit will come in and guide you. How many really listens to spirit? Do you listen to them? How many listens to spirit?
We're here, so we all listen. Yeah. Spirit God is here.
Spirit's got you here? Good. Okay. And a lot of times people won't listen to what they say. They really won't. They just say it's just coincidence. But that's spirit intervention helping us out. Not blood. They're not going to text us, by the way. They don't text.
How do you know?
I really never received a text from a spirit.
Spirit is an energy, so they'll use any aspect of energy they can.
I know.
It can be texting, it can be the telephone, it can be anything.
Yeah.
Spirit will communicate with us when we need it. It just may not sound like the way we expect it. It may not come across as a voice.
Well, I never received a spirit text, but that's okay. Yes.
We have a question online. How can we better tell if it's intuition or spirit?
I think you have to ask your spirit guide what they're doing and what they want to give the information to you. Intuition is a feeling inside, really. And I asked a psychologist that same question, and he took a long time defining it, but I said to him, do you think that a spirit intervention, and he stopped, because that's what it really is. That's the connection from the spirit side of life giving you that information. It isn't coincidence at all. Anyone else?
Where does intuition come from if it's not spirit?
Pardon me?
Where does intuition come from when it's not a spirit?
It's just a feeling, that's all.
From where?
Inside, probably. Yeah. I'm not a psychologist, so I don't know the answer to that one, but I do know there is a difference between spirit intervention. Yeah.
Like how I see and perceive the difference, like in my own personal practices in life, like my intuition is like I know it's myself, like I know exactly like what that feeling is.
Yep.
Something other than that, I know it's completely different. That's intuiting that information to me.
Yeah, that's good. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. So there's a difference.
There's a big difference, but you have to know the difference.
Yep.
Between yourself, within yourself.
Yeah, but where does that feeling come from?
Educating and reading and learning about it, so that you can tell the difference between you made this connection with past things you've already done in your day-to-day life alone.
Yeah, that's good.
Talk about how long I've been doing this. I've been doing this for a long, long time. And my feeling is that the source is always spirit. It's always that infinite intelligence. Whether it comes through as a intuition or as spirit communication.
I agree with her. There is a difference. You said it very well. Thank you. Did you have a question, sir?
My comment is, when I have intuition, it's more like deja vu type of thing.
Okay.
Like I would see, I walk into a room and there'll be a certain person there, a certain person there, the dog over there. This guy would say a sentence, this guy would repeat sentences, and I'm like, and I knew that was going to happen. I felt that was going to happen. I've never happened before. Even the dog right at the top, the intuition and the deja vu would be like melting into each other. So and that's the way I feel. That's a really weird feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I knew he was going to say it. I knew the door was going to do that. I knew the refrigerator door was going to be open with the light shining through it. And you know, that's deja vu and intuition. But when you're a psychic thing, this is more like in your brain and you're trying to figure stuff out. And a lot of times, I mess up my psychic abilities, but I think it's just my own conscious thought into it. And then,
Yeah.
and I think I have a psychic episode, like lack of better term, and I figure out to do it. And then my mind starts to double up on my own reason. That's
Okay. Any comments on that? Going back to transmedium, there is what we call light transmedium. This is where the spirit becomes very close to the medium themselves. So facial expression of the medium, they look a little different. And that's why spirit is close, because spirit will be very close to the medium as you're giving the workout. I want to put that in there. What kind of other questions do you have? Has anybody seen, as I mentioned, table tipping itself? Any experiences with that? Yeah, it's quite interesting, isn't it? That thing really moves, and it's from spirit. You may look underneath, there's no engine there at all, trust me. Yes. Do you have a question?
No, I was saying I've done table tipping.
I can't hear you.
I've done table tipping, that's all I was saying.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
We
It's-
had a great experience when we celebrated our anniversary here, and we had 4 tables in the Davis Hall, and they were just moving all over the place. It was a great experience.
yeah.
And we had large tables, we had small tables, we had every type of size, and it was just amazing.
I was here, I was,
It was
if
absolutely
anybody
wonderful.
don't think it's spiritual, you think it's one of those tables.
I tell you what, the table I had to stand up because it stood up and ran. Ran across the room. Yeah.
Well, Casadega has a lot of interesting things here, a lot of spirit guidance, there's no question about it. So they would be very active here, I'm sure. And it's good, and it's something that's coming more and more into this century. A lot of the things that were done in the 1800s. So we're going to see more of that. But that's very interesting. Okay, and we're going to see more table tipping. Outside of that, we're going to see more slate riding coming up, and along with the trumpet seance. So that's good. Different things will also move. How many have had things moved in their home? Huh? Yeah, guess who's coming to dinner, huh? And things will move in the house. You put something down in one place, and during the night perhaps it'll be open somewhere else. And what do you think that is? What do you think's moving there? Yes, absolutely.
Somebody who wants to take knowledge for whatever it is they are moving.
Yeah,
They will move something that has, you think about them.
that's right.
They will move something that doesn't belong to them because
Yeah.
they're nothing to them.
And you see that a lot. Lights switch on in the house at nighttime, and spirit letting know they're around you. It could be a family also, definitely coming in. How many actually seen this spirit? Their relatives from the spirit side of life from here.
I see Wednesday, but you are, this lady changing prison. Oh, you know, child is spirit.
They're taller than you, of course.
This was about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
She came right in, I was supposed to, she came right in front of me, pretty much, she spoke to me, was saying, "Wait, man, tell me if you keep it." The voice drastically changed.
Mm-hmm.
She gave me,
And animals will come back.
it was just the best, it was the most, adventurous thing I've never changed, 3 different people, right?
Yeah, animals also come back from spirit. How many actually see animals? Sure. Like the dog that they had one time. Have you ever seen that? Have you? Hi? Yes. Yeah, they'll be around. Yeah, they come back in. Because a lot of times I'm reading, I'll see animals coming in for the people reading for. They lost their animals, either a cat or dog. Okay, any questions coming in? Go ahead. You have a question? Yes. Oh. Just don't move. Okay. How many has been here at this camp for the first time? Yeah, Lou Gates, I know. He still finds a way around. Everybody's been. That's good, yeah. Pardon me?
I'm new to this temple, but not new to the city.
Oh, okay.
I was here a lot when I was a child.
We have a few people that have been in the temple. Even though they've been
Yeah. I'm telling you, that's bad. I was out to Arizona. I do the church service out there when it hit. I had to get back to Florida. But everybody's a little bit still down on it, trying to. So anyways, how many wants to become a medium in this group? I know Lou does, but anybody else? No? Okay. Because there's classes here, you know. They teach classes on mediumship here at the camp itself. And you may want to look into that. Oh, are they? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, I've been doing this for 40 years and I'm still learning. It's a long road.
In Castaneda, you have to be certified.
That's right.
To be a Castaneda medium.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't, you know, I've gone to classes since I started coming here in the 90s, and I do it for myself. Spirit has told me that I use it for myself and for others, but not, it's not my walk in life to do something as a certified medium.
Correct.
I don't have to be certified to do it for myself.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's okay. Yeah, because I medium also. I did go through all that for. Oh. Hey, what other kind of questions? I'm going to pass that test now. You all sure you know? Okay. Like I said, mediumship is real, and people ask me about tarot cards and all kinds, nothing to do with me. Because we don't depend on that. We don't spirit exclusively. I think that's important. There's nothing wrong with cards now, believe me, but we don't as mediums. Anybody comments on that? Because I know. Pardon? Yeah, I understand, but in spiritualism we don't.
I think of this medium, use it. You don't use any of the trumpets, anything like that.
Mhm.
But using a trumpet, you are using a trumpet, which is
I know it's a different facet. Yeah.
mediumship.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You need an mental medium. But there's another one, I forgot it. The medium is trained to take care of the trumpet and slate writing. You understand? Pardon? Okay. You're saying it's a lovely day in the hood because I righteous, but I refuse that. Okay, any questions you may have before I depart? Well, that's good. I appreciate you here. Thank you for attending. And, I'll stay around the service. And I'm also doing a workshop later called the Alpha Level, which is a guided meditation. I think you'll be interested. Okay?